Zibby, how are you?
Hi, I'm so good. How are
I'm
you?
good. Thank you so much for joining us today. This is really exciting. I'm excited.
I'm glad you are. I am too. It's such a treat to be here and
Oh,
chat with real fans and viewers of the show. It's so neat.
yeah, absolutely. And so we've got people coming in from Switzerland, Brazil, the Philippines, the UK, USA. Yeah, so we've got
Look
all,
at
I
us.
know, all different time zones. And yeah, so very cool.
We are a worldly bunch. I
We,
love it.
we are. I'm just going to check. Actually, no, I'm not. So, first of all, a huge congratulations on the success of season 3. It has been, wow, that just
I
must
know.
blow your mind.
Yeah. My mind is completely blown. Thank you for the congratulations. It feels really, yeah, really special. I can't believe how many people love the show. I feel really honored to be a part of it.
Yeah, yeah. Zibby, I'm not going to spend too much time chatting because I know your fans have got some questions that they would like to ask you.
Cool.
I am just going to ask Karen, she's one of my techie people, just to make sure that our heads and everything are in line and we all look amazing on screen. Are we looking good? And she's nodding and she's like, yep, we look fantastic. Okay, so Zibby, we're actually going to go to Melinda and Rick, who are from Tennessee, and they are both huge fans. So Melinda actually got Rick involved in the show, and now he loves it too. So I'm going to hand it over to those two to ask you the first question.
Great.
Hey, Zibby.
Hi, how are you?
First, thank you for my cameo for my anniversary. It was amazing.
Happy anniversary. I remember that cameo. I had a lot of fun making it for you guys.
Yeah, it was amazing. So our question is, when you are choosing roles or characters to play in whatever it is, what do you look for in a role, or in what makes you choose or not choose a particular role for a show or a movie?
Yeah, it's such a cool question. It's changed over the years. You know, when I first started, I was just like, give me any role, I'll take anything. Just get me in the room. But you know, as I've gone on in my career, you know, I've had to be more discerning, but not for the same reason every time. It's like I like to say that a lot of the times roles choose me, and I learn a lot about myself through the characters that I get to play. And so, if anything, I've had to cultivate more of like a listening to myself. You know, like sometimes my heart will just know it's a no for reasons I can't point to. And if I listen to it, usually the job that I really want shows up. And then sometimes I don't listen to it. You know, I take it out of fear because, you know, our business is strange. You never know when your next job is going to come. But I still learn something from it, if at the very least that I just need to listen to myself more. So, you know, in terms of like types of characters, the variety of roles really intrigues me. And sometimes I'll be really into the idea of a show because of the director, because of an actor, because of the story, or because there's a challenge in playing that character that like really lights me up. Or sometimes it's just for reasons that I'll find out later if I just say yes to it.
Right. Well, thank you. We think you played the role in Virgin River amazing. I loved season 3. It was awesome. So congratulations.
Oh, thank you so much. I love that. I like the people like Brie because I really like her too as a character. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you. Zibby, we've also got people who are watching this live on YouTube. And so we've got a question from Suzanne, and she would like to know where the name Zibby comes from. She says, it's such a cool name. So that's from Suzanne who's watching us live.
Okay. So first of all, hello on live. That's so cool. I wish I could see it. But anyway, I used to say, like, just to, like, because it's a question I get all the time, I used to say it's short for my parents smoke a lot of pot, which is pretty cheeky, not totally true. I'm sure my mom would not appreciate that. But it's short for Elizabeth, and it was a nickname that was given to me early on. You know, my parents they're not pot smokers, but they're hippies, and so I didn't even know my birth given name was Elizabeth until I saw my birth certificate when I was like, I don't know, 10 or 11, which is late. You know, it's late. So I just remember being like, parents, what is this? And they're like, oh, yeah, that was the original concept. I'm like, concept? I could have been like a normal sounding name. And then it's one of those nicknames that just stuck to me like latex. Like I couldn't ever get people to call me Elizabeth no matter how hard I tried. And so that's just who I am in the world.
I love it. I love it. Thank you.
Yeah.
We are going to go to Diane. So, Diane, what's your question for Zibby?
Hi, Zibby. First of all, I want to say congratulations to the casting crew who brought you onto the show. You are the perfect match for Benjamin. I love you in this show. But my question for you is, if you hadn't become an actress, did you have a backup plan? What would you have done instead?
Oh man, I'm still thinking of a backup plan. I thought about this a lot. Like I probably would end up in something as equally unreliable career-wise and something creative, you know, whether that's a writer. When I was in school, I was thinking I wanted to be a documentarian, you know, and still sometimes I think about that. I'm always just, you know, as cliche as it sounds, so interested in capturing stories. So whether that's through writing or you know, ethnography, documenting other people's lives, I think I'd probably gravitate toward that in some respect. I also have this weird, it's not weird, it's just unexpected for people who don't know me, total interest in herbs and herbalism. And it's, just like, so there's so much to learn in that world. I actually take courses in my off time just to learn a little bit about it. I really love the use of herbs. And so, you know, in another lifetime, maybe I would have become a little, you know, herbal witch doctor. Who knows? Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Zibby, what are some things that are on your bucket list?
Oh, man. It mostly involves travel, I think. Like, there's so many parts of the world I want to see, parts of the world that you all are in right now. I mean, my husband and I really want to do like all of Latin America. I really want to see Japan one day. I really want to see India one day. I have a particular affinity, we both do, for Scotland. We go back all the time. And so I'd love to one day have a place in the countryside, in the Highlands, maybe. But my bucket list is like seeing the world and meeting a lot of people. I don't have a whole lot of like jump out of an airplane. I am not that. I'm not an adrenaline seeker. Like save that for other people. Yeah.
You'll have to make your way to New Zealand one day.
Oh, let me tell you, New Zealand is there. First of all, well, as you know, Martin, who plays Jack, is from there. I've been once before on a really short trip and absolutely loved it. And my husband has been as well. So we definitely want to go back together and spend more significantly longer stretch of time there. Yeah.
Brilliant. So next we're actually going to Switzerland. So we've never had anyone zoom in from Switzerland before, so which is cool. So
that's so cool.
Andrina, can you please ask Zibby your question?
Hi, first of all, congratulations for playing Bree, because she's such an amazing character and I love her so much. So my question would be, if you could wish one storyline for Bree in season 4, what would it be?
Oh, that's really hard. Great question. Thank you for the kind words about Bree. One thing for Bree, well, I'd really like to see her where I think in season 3 she's got so much like self-determination, right? I felt like so much of season 3 she was fighting for a sense of control over this major trauma and fighting for, she just really like fought for herself in a way that maybe if there's another season, I'd love to see her kind of get on top of that and be able to enjoy more about her life. Whereas I think a lot of season 3 she was in this quiet, sort of isolated survival mode, you know, and so I think that might manifest hopefully in, you know, a better relationship with her brother and where she can really feel like she can trust anyone with her heart the way I think Bree really wants to. Yeah.
That's amazing. Thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you. We're actually going to go to the UK now, Zibby, and we've got Marissa, who is a huge fan. And so,
Awesome.
Marissa, what's your
Hi, Anne.
question?
Hi. Thanks for for joining this. It's very nice. And congratulations for the series. It's been good to have you there.
No, thank you.
I just wanted to know what it is like to work with Benjamin and Martin. So they are your brother and boyfriend there.
Yeah.
Is it okay? Is it?
Yes. It's such a treat for multitudes of reasons. They're both wonderful people and really different, but equally full of heart and commitment to the story. Martin is a laugh a minute. He is so playful and so fun. And my very first day on set, I'll never forget it. I was quite nervous coming onto the show, and I was already a fan of the show before I knew I was going to get to be on it. So it's like I felt like I really wanted to do right by it. So I had the first day jitters, to be sure. And Martin was the first actor on set that I met. And so I walk on, and because it was in the height of COVID, we're wearing our masks, and the director introduces me, and he goes, "And here's Zibby, Martin, she's playing your sister." And he turns around, and he goes, "Hey!" Oh, and he looks at me, and my mask was upside down, and he goes, "Your mask is upside down," and just starts laughing so hard, like, to use this term, actually it's a UK term that I get from my husband, he taking the piss out of me instantly, and it just broke the ice in the best way. He instantly became sort of like an older brother to me, and there was a lot of teasing, and I appreciated that because there was nothing precious, and he just made it fun instantly. And so working with him really takes the pressure off the minute you're in the same space. But then when he wants to load in and have a serious scene, you can really go there. So it's lovely. And as far as Ben, who plays Brady, from the first day, we both made a pact to really give these characters our all. And so I felt like he met me as a scene partner in a way that helped us commit and really go there, which can be hard in our business, right? Because you meet someone and then instantly you have to sort of form this intimacy of knowing each other on some level. And so I really appreciate his work ethic. Yeah.
That's nice. Well, he has been in these Zooms for a few times, and he's really good, and he's fun.
Yeah, he's lovely. Yeah, good guy.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm, thank you.
Thanks, Marissa. Zibby, what's your favorite quote?
Okay, this is hard because I don't have a favorite anything. Anytime anybody asks me a favorite, I get panicked. I get sweaty because I'm just I don't know how to choose. But I usually find something and keep it around me for as long as it's relevant. And I do actually have one on my desk, actually. And it's from a book of poems, but it's short enough that it can be counted as a quote. So I'll just read it to you. It's called Find a Better Job, but it goes like this. Now that all your worry has proved such an unlucrative business, why not find a better job?
Sorry,
which I love.
Yeah,
because I can be a worrywart.
Yeah. Oh, actually, so Karen, Shelly, and I, so Shelly and Karen are both helping me. We're all in education, and so we understand what it means to be worrywarts because that is us on a daily basis.
Oh, I can't imagine, especially in these last, year and a half or so being in education. You're like the heroes of the world, honestly.
Yeah, love that quote. Thank you.
Yeah.
So next we are going to Brazil, and we've got, is it Hyena? I'm just trying to pronounce her name correctly. I think I butchered it though, so I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Hi, Zibby.
Hi. How do we say your name?
I want to say that I love Brie on Virgin River.
Thank you.
And my question for you is, what is the most fascinating thing about being an actress?
Wow. Well, it's fascinating to have to visit parts of myself that I wouldn't otherwise necessarily have to explore. And I think it's really fascinating. It's like my job as an actress brings me to a lot of places in the outside world that I wouldn't necessarily go to otherwise, and same with my inner world. And so, I feel, like I said earlier, my work kind of grows me all the time if I let it. And I think that's a pretty fascinating way to live, career-wise at least. So I appreciate that a lot.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
What time is it in Brazil again? I can't remember. Oh, I'll just unmute. We might have to come back. Oh no, there we go. What time is it in Brazil again?
It's 7.
Oh, that's right.
7 p.m.
It's not too bad then.
Okay, good. No one here is like 3 a.m, are they?
We've got some. I think Sheila's in the Philippines, and I think it's 5 o'clock in the morning. In the UK with Marissa, it's 11 p.m. Yeah. So you've got some really, really dedicated fans, and we're going to India, and in India, I think that's crazy time. It's early in the morning as well. So yeah.
Thank gosh.
So the next question we are going to go to Kerry, who's actually in Virginia.
Hi, Zibby. Hey, I really enjoyed your work on Virgin River, and I've been like a lot of the fans have been listening to a lot of the interviews and stuff like that. And Grayson Guernsey said recently in an interview that some of the actors on Virgin River tend to go off script a lot, and you have to stay on your toes because they try to keep you on your toes. And I was wondering, can you pass along any funny moments where this has happened to you on the set of Virgin River?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Martin gets really playful with going off script. So he's one to watch always. But actually a couple of lines that were improvised made their way into the final cut, and I'm trying to remember. Well, I don't know if you'll recall, but toward the end of the season, I don't remember which episode, but it's after Bree's, had her miscarriage, and it's before Jack and Mel are about to go to the funeral, and Jack wants to stay and sort of look after Bree, and Bree's like, just go, I'm fine. We had this little banter where he goes, he says to Mel, like, please tell Bree something. I can't remember who did it first, but that was all playful and made up, and we were kind of cracking each other up. Originally, it was just one of us saying, just tell him I'm fine. But actually, I think I said that, and then he goes, well, you tell her, and then I do one other, like, thank you. And so that was really fun. And then another improvised moment that made it into the final cut is when we're at the Lumberjack games, and Bree has this kind of heartfelt conversation with Mel after the Xanax wine mixing. And at the very end, she says something, I can't remember the line anymore because it was improvised, but she says something like, there are a bunch of donuts over here, and Bree goes, I'm going to need a couple of those. We said a bunch of different lines back and forth, and we were kind of surprised that one made it into the cut. But Alex and Martin are so great at just like buttoning little moments or letting scenes riff after the dialogue just to see if we capture anything fun, and we almost always do. So yeah, and also one of my favorite scenes to film, even though you guys didn't see it, was when Brady and I are in the bar playing darts. We had a whole, back and forth banter, actually playing darts, making fun of each other, and sort of faux competing with one another, and it was a blast. And I know they filmed a lot of it, but I think for time's sake, they couldn't actually make it into the cut, so.
Yep, that sounds good. Thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kerry. So Zibby, we're now going to California, and we've got a question from Tina.
Hi, Zibby.
Hi.
Hi. Love the show and just love your addition to the show. It's actually been really interesting, and I've enjoyed it quite a bit. My question for you is, if you end up defending Brady, how do you think it will affect your relationship with Jack, since it seems a little strained at this time, and how will that develop your thoughts for the next season?
That's a good question. Okay, so these are all ifs because I know nothing.
Right,
but,
of course.
But if it's true that Bree ends up defending Brady, I just have a feeling that Bree would never betray her brother, and she's a good lawyer. We know this, that she's had a history of being a really good lawyer. And one thing that's superpower of a lawyer is to really help shine the light on the truth, ideally, right? In a really convincing way. And so I don't think she would, my guess is she wouldn't defend Brady unless she had Jack's support and she knew she was right and could get Jack on board. I think the Sheridans, what I love about them as a family is that they're really loyal. They have a deep sense of loyalty to each other. And so I don't see Bree going against her brother to defend someone who actually shot him. If Brady didn't do it, Bree will find out and she'll get her brother on board. And don't you think that like Jack has such a deep sense of loyalty too, that if he's wrong, he's not going to let that fly either. Yeah,
I know they have a great relationship. I've really liked how it's grown throughout the whole season.
Yeah, I hope Bree and Jack sort of build more of a bridge for their relationship too,
I think Mel helps as well because Mel's really cute with your character as well. I like how they've grown that up a little bit with the nails and the shopping, and that was really cute. I like the whole bond there. So,
yeah, I think Mel needs a girlfriend in Virgin River. Like, she needs a contemporary. Everyone's great. The lovely citizens of Virgin River are great, but she needs someone who comes from the city and kind of gets that side of her. So I like that the writer.
I think she lost it with Paige because she kind of had it earlier with Paige, and that was kind of like her person who was her age and kind of like, hey, I got you. Come over here and get some lattes. And then they lost her, so it's kind of been the older ladies. So it's kind of nice to see their camaraderie.
Yeah, I think.
Glad you're there.
Me too. Thank you.
Zibby, we've got another question from a fan who is watching this live on YouTube, and it's from Amelia, who is in Melbourne, Australia.
Yeah.
And she says, how cool was it to bring a character like Bree to life, considering the part she plays in the books? And she said, have you read the books? I must admit, I haven't read the books, but
I have read the one book where I think Bree is introduced. It's called Whispering Rock. Guys, these books are steamy. I don't know how many of you have read, but I'm like, whoa. I was like reading it before we started filming, and I was like, this feels wrong that I'm reading this. Like, it's great. They're great, though. Robin Carr's a wonderful writer. So I did read books. Bringing her to life. Okay, let me remember the question. The question is, what was it like to bring her to life, especially, did I read the books, and especially,
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of pressure always when it's a pre-established, character in the world, whether it's the books or that character has been talked about. I don't think Bree was talked about much. I think there were some mentions of Jack's sisters, but because I really loved the way Bree was written, both for Virgin River and in the books, I had this like real deep sense of responsibility to do right by her. And so I just didn't take that lightly. But that was part of the challenge that really attracted me to this job. It didn't feel like a shoo-in. It didn't feel super easy. It felt like something that I needed to really connect to and be deliberate about. And so I appreciated that. And it was helpful to have read the books and to have watched the first 2 seasons, of course, because I could really picture her in that world before I entered it.
Yeah. I must read the books now, actually. I've binge-watched the seasons, but haven't read the books, so I'll give them a go.
Well, the books do, the show strays from the books. There are some people, I'm sure you've all seen that some people really want Bree to be with Mike as per the books, and there's like a whole online battle, Bree or Mike or Brady. And Sue Tenney, the writer, she does find a way to always sort of thread the needle back, but she takes, I think, some useful liberties when it comes to the show because she's limited to only 10 episodes, and she has to find a way to pack it all in. So some people love that, and some people want it to be strictly by the book. But she does always find her way back to the books usually.
Well, I'm definitely Brady and Brie. So.
Awesome.
Zibby, so we're going to the Philippines, and I think it's just after 5 a.m. and we've got Sheila. So Sheila, what's your question?
Hi, Miss Zibby.
Hi, Sheila. You're up so early.
Yeah, it's fine. All right. Well, both my questions were already asked by the others. So my question would be, after filming season 3, did you took anything from the set?
Oh,
did I take anything from the set?
Yeah.
Oh,
did you?
man. This is a great question. It's fun. Funny because normally I do sort of take a clothing item or something, or I'm given one. And there were a couple things from Bree's wardrobe that I was really into. I liked a couple of her jackets, her leather jackets,
Yes.
definitely. Like, I like how she's styled. But when I inquired about, maybe walking away with a jacket, production usually needs to hang on to the full wardrobe just in case there's another season. And so until we know for sure one way or the other. So I guess the only upside to not getting another season is I might be able to score one of her jackets. but if I don't get any of her clothes, that means that we get another season. So in this case, I don't think I walked away really with anything except great memories and good friendships with a lot of the cast. Yeah.
Okay. For sure, there will be season 4, and you will take that jacket.
From your mouth. Thank you. Let's hope.
Manifest.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Zibby, what's the best piece of advice that you've been given? I mean, I know this is a hard one
Yeah. The best piece of advice I've been given is, I've had lots of good advice, thank goodness. Good advice has steered me right. But the one that's really, that I heard recently that I love, and I think about it all the time, is make sure to bring your heart with you in every room you walk into. Which I love, because I think sometimes, when you walk onto a set for the first time, or into a room with people you don't know, or a job interview, or whatever the circumstances, it can be easy for me to sort of not really remember to bring myself with myself, because I'm so worried about how it's going to go. And so I liked that little bit of advice. I like to try and remember it as much as possible.
Cool. Thank you. So we're going to go to India now. Mridula, what is your question for Zibby?
Hi, Zibby. This is
Hi.
Mridula from India. This is like 4 a.m. in the morning right now.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So last week we spoke to Benjamin, and now you. It's like a double treat for us. So thanks to Belinda for that. We really, really enjoyed watching you and Brady in the Virgin River.
Thanks.
And especially your moves of I'm Only Human. So I hope there is part 2 of I'm Only Human. It will be you in that. So my question to you is, you're an actress, you're a writer, you're a producer, you're a musician. So we don't know that side of you. So tell us more about your writing and producing thing. We would like to know more about that.
Okay. Well, thanks about the moves. The dancing was very intimidating when I read that in the script originally. But it turned out, I was hoping nobody would notice, and everyone's talking about that dance. So we can talk about that later. But as far as writing and making music and producing, like I was saying earlier, I just really am so addicted to the art of storytelling in all of its various forms. And, in different times in my acting career, it would be more quiet on the acting front, and I would just need to pour my creative whatever juices into something else. And so anytime I can write a story or find a story and want to help tell it, I just, I'm drawn to all the sides that go into it. And so I guess I've just been doing it for so long now. I started out writing plays and producing them in San Francisco, California. And then again in LA, I've had a couple of short plays published. And then I got a group of good girlfriends together in Los Angeles several years ago now. I had an idea for a movie that I really, really liked, and I wanted it to be all women, all the crew, all the cast, everything. And so that movie's called The Living Worst, actually, is the title. But it was an incredibly satisfying collaboration amongst women, and a fun way to tell a story. And so, yeah, it's just, I like to immerse myself. And then as far as music goes, it's funny because I don't really consider myself a musician, but I love making music. It's like, I wish I were good at it. I wish I had stayed with my piano lessons and my violin lessons. But I taught myself how to play the ukulele. And my secret is I pair up with people who have real strong musicianship skills. So they make me look better. And I'm good at writing really simple songs and then finding people to help make them beautiful. And so I have a dear, dear friend named Ian Merrigan, and we started a very whimsical ukulele music singing duo band called Socks and Chimes. And we made an album, and I won't bore you with the long story, but the long story short is sort of by accident, one of our songs played on the radio, and suddenly we got this following, that we were really shocked by. And so we started playing, we went on a tour and we released an album, and then our lives took different directions for about 10 years. We stayed dear friends, and now we're back making music again. And I just love it sort of as a hobby, but it's just another creative outlet. I'm a big feeler, and so all of it has to go through creative channels. Otherwise, I'll explode.
Wow, that's a different side of Bree that we know, like writing a song and all.
Yeah, totally. I mean, don't go looking for my music. It's not impressive, but I love to do it. So whatever. Yeah.
All the best.
Thank you. You too.
And if you ever come to India, please let me know. We can host it.
That is so lovely. Where in India are you?
I'm from Mumbai.
Oh, cool. I'm dying to get to India. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Zibby, we have a few of your fans who had signed up, and 3 actually, and they emailed just before we started to say that they're not well. But I'm going to ask their question anyway. So we have Crystal, who is in North Carolina, and she's a nurse, and she's actually got COVID at the moment, and she's not feeling well at all. And I was talking to Shelly and Karen, and in New Zealand, we've had COVID. We've been lucky enough to have COVID under control. So I actually don't know anyone who's had COVID, but she said she's feeling very poorly. But her question, but I said to her, look, I'll ask the question on her behalf. And one of her questions was, your character was new for season 3. How was it coming in as an actress into a well-established group? What was that like for you?
Great question. And I'm sorry you're not well, and I'm just sending you lots of love, and just hoping that you get through it quickly and that you're even stronger on the other side. So hang in there. I do know people who've had COVID, so yeah, it's not nice. So I'm thinking of you. And as far as joining a new show that's well established, it's pretty intimidating. But it's Virgin River, and I'm telling you guys, the going to the Virgin River set is genuinely like walking into Virgin River, the town. It's like everyone is as sweet as you think they are. They're as sweet and wonderful as their characters, and it's very, it's lacking any sort of Hollywood pretension. It really is just so warm and feels small town, and I felt sort of immediately welcomed and safe enough to feel like I could ingratiate myself. And I'm really grateful for that, because it's not always the case on sets. I've certainly been on other shows that are well established, and I show up as a guest, and you feel just like a guest who doesn't want to touch anything or rock the boat or ask questions. And that was just not the case here. And I'm so grateful because I think it helped me really step into Bree's shoes faster and more confidently. Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Thank you, Zibby. We have now got a question from Shannon.
Hi, Bree.
Hi.
How you doing? It's so nice to meet you.
Likewise.
We love Virgin River. See, there's my mug.
Oh my gosh, you have a Virgin River mug? Where's mine? I want one.
It's coming. I'll get it to you.
That's so cool.
Every morning you drink out of it.
Yes.
So, my questions have been answered, but going into season 1, it was great. Season 2 was awesome. And season 3, you brought a whole different light to the show. It was all about Mel and Jack for those 2 seasons, and now you brought Brady and Bree together. And those shows that you were on the couch just cuddled up with a blanket, and it was just so neat. How was it working with Brady? I mean, we got to talk to Brady last week also, and he's just so genuine. And I mean, not that Martin isn't, but yeah, how is it working with Brady, like coming in new and having him as your partner?
Yeah, it's a great question, and I love hearing that about your observations about Bree and Brady and what they do in season 3. Like I said, we both were really committed to our craft. I mean, not to sound cheesy, but when you've got 2 really committed actors who mean it, like it leaves a lot of room to create kind of a potency, and I think our chemistry really worked because of that. Yeah. His work ethic and my work ethic is very similar, are very similar, and so I think it's a real credit to both of our creative spirits. I think that we could just get right in there and allow it to be as potent as the writing wanted it to be. So I'm grateful for that. That he would always be down to run lines, always down to talk. I mean, I remember the first day we met was the first day that our characters, it was the kissing scene on the street. So I met him at lunch, and then 5 hours later, we're like kissing on the street. And so I met him at lunch, and we both were holding our lunch in our hands. And I said, well, here, take my number, and then text me from the trailer, if you want to talk character or whatever. And he said, yeah, absolutely. And got to my trailer, and I got a text saying, all right, let's do this. Let's have fun. I'm in. And I was like, I'm in too. And that kind of spirit is really necessary, I think, when you're talking about 2 people who have to establish chemistry right out the gate.
Yeah.
Because of COVID, we didn't have any chance to sort of pre-rehearse or test together or anything. Yeah.
Do you think there'll be another dance scene, just like Mel and Jack? Dance off maybe.
I'm so scared of that. Like, you guys, when I read that in the script, I'm not kidding. I turned into like a shy 13-year-old girl, sweaty pits. I was like, how am I going to do this gracefully?
You did great.
Yeah, that's so nice. I mean, who knows? Hopefully. It's a very dancey group. They'll play music a lot in between shots. And so to keep spirits up, sometimes you just need it. Because especially last season, we had some heavy content, So the crew will play music in between, and we'll all kind of get down and that. So maybe. We'll at least shoot some B-roll.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Our next question is from Stephanie, and we're hoping that Stephanie, we've got somebody on here with iPhone, so as the username, so I'm thinking it's Stephanie maybe. Hello. They might have just dropped.
Hi.
Oh, no, there we go.
Hi, my name is Amanda.
Sorry, you're Amanda. Sorry, you're not Stephanie.
I am. I'm so sorry. I don't know why it showed up like that. I apologize.
I was wondering.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, it does matter. We've got you now. From Kansas.
Hi, Amanda from Kansas.
Yeah, and I'm really sorry. My boxer Bentley has decided he needs to be part of this group today.
All dogs are welcome, always, in my book. Get in here, Bentley.
Oh, there we go. I can see them.
Yeah. Well, I got 2 of them.
I can't see. Let me
I got
see.
Brady and Bentley.
Wait, I need to see.
No,
Oh, there.
I really have to agree that Zibby, you have added something so awesome to this season. You really have. Your addition to it has made me love it even more. And I love the storyline with you and Brady. I absolutely love it because in the previous seasons, it was always made to look Brady as kind of a bad guy, which I never even thought that he was ever.
Good for you.
So I love that. I really, really do. And my question just is that you guys had such a great connection from the very beginning. And I know that you had doubts when, everything came out that he was there when Jack was shot and, all of that. And then, the drugs that they found and everything. And I guess my question is, I know you care. I know the character really cares for him. And so I just want to know how hard that is for you to put that into perspective.
Oh, good question. And thanks so much for the nice words. And I can't get over Bentley. I love that Bentley is definitely iPhone bombing this entire thing. He's so cute.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So how hard was that for me to sort of hold that perspective of really caring for someone and then not knowing whether or not they're to be trusted? Is that
Yes, exactly. Because all of us fans out here, we've been made to believe that he was the bad guy all along.
Yeah.
But I was probably one of the very few people that didn't believe that.
Yeah.
I really thought that he was a good guy, and I stuck to my guns about it, and then I see you guys, and I just have to say, I'm so freaking envious of you having that dance scene with him, and that, I can't tell you how many times I have watched that, that dance scene in the bar. Oh my gosh.
That's too funny. Here I was thinking, okay, well, maybe no one will notice that scene and we can just never talk about it again. And then,
No. Oh my God. No, it was so amazing. Really watching you. And, when he said, I'm not really a dancer, and then he comes up behind you and the look on his face. And then you guys were dancing, and you said, well, you said you couldn't dance. He said, no, I didn't say I couldn't. And that just sealed it for me right there.
I love it. Yes, to your point, we got to see so much of so many other layers to Brady, right? And so it's hard not to fall in love with him. It's Brie got a side of Brady that no other character got to really see up close. And so, and maybe you've had this in your own life. I know I have in my past where you're just I know you're good, but why are you so bad right now? I do think that, one of Bree's struggles at this stage in her life is that she really wants to be able to trust someone with her heart. And
exactly,
she's coming from a trauma where she started to trust somebody and then that backfired big time in a really heavy way. And she, in an effort to sort of regain a sense of control over her feelings and her sexuality, she sort of pursues, quote, the bad boy, but ends up, I think, really finding some real threads of true heart connection. And so when that happened at the end, that was a level of betrayal that I just don't know. It's a major cliffhanger for her even. I don't know how she is going to reconcile that. And I remember when I read it, that hurt. I was like, shoot, this sucks. And that's part of our job, is really finding those juxtapositions that live in all of us. It's you want something. And, so it's just part of what I love about my job. You have to find where both of those things live in the same heart space, the love and the danger, the love and the mistrust. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Well, thank you so much. I mean, I know I probably talked a little bit more than anybody else, but I do really love what you brought to the show.
You're great. And thanks to Bentley.
Yeah, Bentley.
Thank you.
He's my baby.
Thank you, Amanda. Zibby, we also have Grace, who's not well, but I'm going to ask her question, which is, how would you describe the show Virgin River using only 3 words?
Okay, Grace, first of all, I hope you feel better soon. I'm sorry you're not well. You're coming in with a very hard question. 3 words?
3 words.
Man, okay, don't hold me to this because I didn't.
Maybe you can use a few more. That's okay.
No, okay. So heartfelt.
Yes.
Heartbreaking.
Yes, absolutely.
And steamy.
Yes.
I mean, I feel like Brady and Bree were so steamy. Like, even when I was watching it with my husband, he paused it because, that's not fun necessarily for any, and to my husband's credit, he loves the show so much. Like, he kind of got lost in it too, and he pushed pause after like one of the makeout scenes, and he was like, I'm only going to say this once. You guys have some serious chemistry, and it's great. We laughed so hard because it's just like, it's sort of undeniably steamy. Like, my dad can't watch it. So I guess those would be my 3 words right now. I'll probably think of 10 more after this call, but whatever.
Thank you, Zibby. We've got somebody who's watching live on YouTube, Joanne from Los Angeles, and she would like to know, what would Bree say to Charmaine? I guess.
What would Bree say to Charmaine?
Yeah.
She'd tell her to back off and get in line, probably. Yeah, okay. She'll defend her. Bree will defend her brother to the very end, I believe. And I don't think she's a fan of manipulating, women. Bree has a deep sense of integrity. And so I think she'd probably have a pretty stern talk with her about what's going to happen when the twins are born and how it's going to go down. And it'd be all about being fair or else. I like that Bree's got the law, on her side in terms of she knows the ins and outs of it. So I would like to think when push comes to shove, she would lay it down for Charmaine.
Awesome. Thank you, Zibby. So now we've got a question from Diana.
Hi, Zibby. I love the show, and I love you're a great addition this season.
Thank you so much.
I have never binge watched a show before, and all of my friends were middle-aged, and we are hooked on this show. And I zip right through a season in a matter of a couple of days. But I do like your steamy scenes with Brady and how you reeled in the bad boy to a good guy again. Are people starting to recognize you in public, or are you still masking up? I didn't know if people are recognizing you as Brie when they see you out, if you go out.
Yeah, they are, even with the mask on, which is a new thing for me. Like the odd time I would get recognized for something if someone was like a diehard fan of, some show I was recurring on, or every now and again, but this is kind of next level because it's such a big show. And the mask, I was actually talking to Alex, cause she's like, how is it? Cause she knew it was coming down the pipeline. So did Ben. They both said, get ready. You're going to get recognized. And I was like, there's no way. Like, no. And so Alex was like, how is it? I was like, well, I mean, I'm grateful for the masks. And she laughed. She's like, haha, they can see straight through that mask. And it's been true, but people have been really cool, and it's special for me to be recognized. And for someone to have, I think sometimes it takes a little bit of courage to approach someone. For someone to have the courage to say something to me, I really appreciate and I have a lot of respect for. It's really novel for me still, and makes me feel, just good. So I don't mind it. Yeah.
That's awesome. And I so hope there's a season 4. They can't leave us hanging like this.
No, they cannot. They cannot. No, but we all hope. We need it. So fingers crossed. Hopefully we'll hear soon.
Well, thank you so much.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Zibby, we have got a question from Tiffany, and she's been watching the show ever since it has aired, and she would like to know, what do you like to do for fun?
Yeah. Well, I love entertaining. I will not cook for myself, but when we get to really have people around again, it's been a minute. I mean, I can't tell you how many parties I've fantasized about throwing. I love to entertain people. So does my husband. I'm really into herbs, so I'm almost always making some sort of tincture or infusion, and finding out, which friends of mine can't sleep or have digestion issues, and I'll make up tinctures. And then being out in nature, I'm obsessed with my dog, so adventures with her. I love traveling. Yeah.
Cool. Awesome.
Pretty boring stuff, but yeah.
That's not boring at all. No, awesome. Zibby, we've also got a question from somebody who they haven't joined. So sometimes people get the time zones all mixed up. So I guarantee she's going to email and just say, "Oh, I missed it." But Anissa, she would like to see, her question was, I'm just reading it here, can you see yourself doing what Mel did and completely starting a new life in a foreign place?
Ooh, me as an individual? I mean, can any of you? That's a good question for all of us. I mean, there's a fantasy component to it, right? It's like just leaving everything behind and going to a new town and starting fresh. It's harder to imagine now that I'm so in love and attached to my husband. The two of us certainly fantasize about it, and in a way, because of my job, I do get that effect sometimes. But that's a big leap. I mean, when you really think about it, I love that about Mel, and it just speaks volumes to her character, that she's just so full of is it a Yiddish word, like chutzpah, like she's got a lot of strength about her to be able to do that and hold her own. So I admire Mel for that. I'd like to think I could do it. But it's a little scary. It's like I was just talking to my mom. She's taking a trip by herself, only for 3 weeks, right? But she's going to another part of the world totally by herself. And it sounded really romantic when she booked it. And now that the trip is coming up, she's like, "Zibby, I'm scared. Maybe I shouldn't do it." I'm like, "You can do this." I should actually just tell her to go watch Mel.
Yes.
In the first season. And
absolutely.
Get some strength from that, yeah.
Absolutely. Zibby, I think we've got through everybody. They got to ask one question, and we're coming up on our hour. So I just wanted to say thank you to a few people. Thank you to your assistant, Sam. She has been amazing.
I know, Sam's the best. I know. Thank you.
So absolutely, thank you. Thank you to your fans here who have joined in and got up at all sorts of hours. So thank you very much for joining in. I want to say thank you to Karen and Shelly who worked behind the scenes and helped make this all happen. Without them, it just wouldn't happen. But Zibby, thank you so much for joining in. You've been an absolute pleasure to talk to, and I hope that we can do this again sometime when season 4.
I would love to. Yes, fingers crossed. I would love to. Yeah. Honestly, thank you for having me, and thanks to all of you for asking such cool questions. Like, this was genuinely fun. I could keep going. So thank you. And I think this platform that you've created, Bee, is so neat. It's so cool. It's such a great way to connect fans to with the artists, and I hope it just keeps going strong because it's really impressive. So bravo you.
I'll say, as I say, Shelly, Karen, and I, we're all teachers. And so
okay, all 3 of you, yes.
All 3 of us, yeah. Well, so Karen is the team leader, and she does all the technical stuff, and she's run off our feet. So we've got 630 odd kids at our school, and then Shelly, she looks after. She's what's called the SENCO, so she does the Special Educational Needs Coordinator. So she's swamped, and then I have my roles as well. But this is something that we love to do because it just makes people happy, and everyone's just, So I get emails, and my latest one, was something. When I find it, it was all about how excited they are to talk to you. I think it was Kerry mentioned something on Facebook, and they were just, I can't wait, and. So it's cool for us too. But thank you for agreeing to do it because obviously without you this wouldn't have happened. So
well, it's impressive what you managed to accomplish in the midst of everything else that you do. And honestly, to the three of you in education and what you do and all the sweet souls you look after, you're